Hi, warm welcome to our viewers. My name is Catherine and we are joined by Mike. Mike is one of the most hardworking men I know. Um, and he has big plans for his future. He's one of the, I think you are probably, as young as you are, you're probably one of the most hardworking people I know in terms of you're a go-getter. You want to get your things done and you know what you want for your future. You've planned everything in order. And yeah, as young as you are, look up to you. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell our viewers. Really introduce yourself.
Okay, yeah, I appreciate the warm welcome. My name is Michael Kariuki. I'm 23 years old. I've just recently, I'm a student which I just left university. I was born and raised in Kenya. So I lived in Kenya till I was about 10, 11 years old. I lived in Eldoret and I was there till about 10, 11 years old. I live with my father. I've got four siblings. I'm not the youngest. I'm the second youngest. So I've got an older brother and two older sisters, and I've got also like a little sister, which is just so she's just before me essentially. And yeah, that's just the long story short of my life. But yeah.
So, in your childhood memories, what do you remember about yourself? What do you remember? Was it a good childhood, or was it hard? Was it, things like that?
Growing up, I really enjoyed it. I feel like when you're younger, you don't really there's not a lot of things that which you need to make you happy. Essentially, we were well fed, dressed. We went to school. School fees was paid like all the time. I think there's only one instance which school fees was a bit delayed, and that's because my dad forgot.
Okay.
And then I got sent home, and I was crying because I've never experienced that before. Yeah. And then he's like, "Oh, he apologized."
And I bet in Kenya it was probably, a big deal because
for me it was, but
they make you stand out and
yes.
make you. It's such an embarrassing moment, really.
They send you. They don't even let you stay there for the whole day.
Oh wow!
As soon as they said, "Oh, your school fees needs to be," as in you should have submitted it yesterday. So you come to school today.
Hey, talk about trauma. Anyway,
So that was like, apart from that, we never really lacked for anything.
Okay.
So in a sense, childhood was good. We had like a nanny, Mama Timo. Shout out Mama Timo. She made sure that we were fed every day.
Nice.
She even like cleaned us since we were young. Everything was taken care of by her. So childhood really good. I really enjoyed it. Good neighbors. They're currently in the States at the moment.
Nice. Okay. Do you guys talk?
Yes, that's Doti, the brother.
Shout
out Doti. Alan as well. So we're still good friends. But yeah, childhood was good. Just go to school, run around, have fun.
Awesome.
Good childhood.
You mentioned that you were born in Kenya. What are you doing in the UK?
When
did you even come?
Currently right now we're in London,
yes.
UK.
Yeah.
I came here when I was 10 or 11, around 2011, essentially. So I came here during that age. I came here to be like reunited with my mum. Essentially, she's been living in the UK since like 2003, I believe. So she's been here for quite a while. So we came here me and my brother both came at the same time to be reunited with my mum.
Okay.
That was the main reason that we left Kenya. She probably saw that it would probably be like a good investment for us to have like education or study here. That was
how old are you then?
Reason. Around 10 or 11.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which will be like year 7 in British terms.
Was it like a culture shock for you guys, education wise? Is it the same thing as Kenya, or did you find it different?
It was definitely a culture shock and definitely different. What I would say is I feel like Kenya, from a young age, like let's say from around 4, like nursery, I don't know, till 10 years old. What's that standard? Class 8.
10 years.
Class 8?
I don't know.
I feel like it's like class 8 just before you start your standard 1, whatever.
No, class 8 I think is maybe when you're 14. I would imagine, or 13.
All right. Okay.
Because for me, I think you start Form 1 when you're 14. Okay, that's how I know.
Yes. Okay. Before the form.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's 13 then. 13.
Okay. I feel like education from nursery to that point is very good.
Okay.
Because we really learned advanced stuff at such a young age.
Oh, so even by the time you were coming here, you knew a lot of stuff.
Yes. Okay. I felt like I was in good steeds to be able to compute like my classmates and stuff like that. The only thing which was poor, I'd say, is English.
Okay.
So I feel like even American, they have their own English. So I feel like the British also have their own English.
And Kenyans have their own English.
Exactly. So
Okay.
that was the biggest thing which I was transitioning. Like in terms of speaking, I could speak English, but also it's different when you're writing like a composition or you're doing like literacy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, but in terms of like schooling in Kenya and the transition was relatively smooth.
Yeah.
And also because I came here when I was year 7.
Okay.
Year 7, if you don't know, year 7 is essentially you go from nursery, then you go primary. Primary is year 1 to year 6. So year 7 is like a whole new, like everyone starts together again.
Okay.
So it's not as if you're catching up. Yeah.
So did you have to go a class backwards, or you just carried on?
Thankfully, I didn't.
Nice.
Me and my brother both, but he went to year 9.
Which is a class forward, or
which is the same as his year, but the only thing with that is he started his GCSEs, so he literally came to this country.
Oh wow!
A couple months later, beginning choose your GCSEs.
Okay.
So I feel like he had that disadvantage in that sense. But I started.
Oh, then lucky you then.
Yeah. Essentially, it was
How about the weather?
The weather, it was cold.
What is it like in Kenya though, for you to come here and find a different kind of weather?
Kenya, mostly of the time, it's the opposite as here. So when here is summer, summer months here will be like May to just September.
Yeah.
Or just another September, that'll be summer. So in Kenya, that time with the rainy season. And then in the UK, winter's probably starting around now, October till January, February. That'll be the hot seasons. Okay. But in terms of the heat, it is intense, but you find ways to, like, you just take shade or you don't play outside when it's too hot. Yeah. So the heat is intense, but it's livable.
So when you came, was it like in summer here, or was it in winter?
No, that's the thing. When I came here, Kenya can be cold sometimes. Yeah. But just in the morning, but it warms up during the day. So if you're just wrapped up in the morning, you'll be fine. Yeah. I came here when it was November. And winters back in the day, like I think it was 2011. Right. It's cold winters. Yeah. So as soon as I left the aircraft, as soon as the bridge.
I know you froze.
The tunnel. Yeah. The tunnel connecting like the aircraft to the airport. Cold. It sent like shivers down my. And I was wearing
you had a coat?
I was wearing everything. Like
maybe you just didn't have the long johns and all the heating thermals.
I needed more.
Oh my gosh.
But it woke me up because I was sleeping in the aircraft. So at least it woke me up. I was like, okay, I've arrived.
Nice. But anyway, fast forward, I'm sure you've gotten used to the weather. You know how to keep yourself warm, because it's been how many years now since?
It's been 11 years, I believe. So I've spent half my life in Kenya and
half here.
I think I'm in the half point here.
Oh, cool. Fast forward 2022.
Yes.
What have you done with yourself? I mean, I'm sure you finished your education.
Yes.
You've come to the point where you are now. Where I don't know, what course did you do?
So I've just recently graduated in June. I studied Aerospace engineering. Okay. Which is MEng, which means Masters of Engineering.
Oh, nice. So you are an aerospace engineer.
Yes, essentially.
And that's an MSc or is it?
So Masters of Engineering.
Masters of Engineering. Yeah. You've got the brains. Okay, go for it.
Essentially, so but for me to get to this point, right? Obviously, I had to do, when I came year 7, I had to do that stage. And I feel like the only negative I'd complain about coming into the British system is when you come from a foreign country, I feel like you're judged like predominantly on maybe the country you came from. Right. Because there's sets, when you're in school, there's like different sets. Yeah. So I was put in like a lower set. Quite a lower set, and
are you talking about primary school? Or are you talking about?
I'm talking about like when I came here today, so like secondary school.
Secondary school. Okay.
So there's different sets. There's like set 1, which is for like the smarter students, and they'll be learning more, and they'll be pushing them more. Right. Stuff like that. Okay. And then it goes follows that route until like a.
And how many sets are there in total? Like there's a first set for the British.
We had 4. There's different schools. It depends how many students there are. Okay. But we had in our school 4, and I was put in the third set. So not the
bottom one, but the third one. That's still low, isn't it?
It's quite low, and the reason I feel like the reason essentially because before people for to determine different sets, people take SATs in year 6. Okay. I didn't get a chance to do that.
To do them, yeah.
So they just put me in a set straight away, and I felt like that's.
Do they assess you before they put you in a particular set?
That's the thing. No, we didn't get.
Because I think I would imagine they should, unless maybe they want to, to put you in that set so that they can give you more support.
I guess so, but at the same time,
but they should still assess you.
I feel like it stunts your growth because like the first set, as I said, they're pushing them. They have the best teachers, in my
Right.
opinion. Yeah, so they're pushing them. They'll be learning like more advanced stuff.
Okay.
And they'll just be more intense with them, obviously. And when you're such a young person, like you're a sponge, you soak up whatever is being given to you. So that's like one of the main criticisms I had. Like I had to work my way up. So when exams came, I did well, and then they put me set 2. Did well, put me in set 1.
Nice,
so,
cool.
Yeah, but that's what I found out with every like person which was immigrated to the UK.
Anybody who immigrated, it didn't matter what. Only the kids. Did you have other kids who were still British, but they went to lower sets, or most of them were in the first set?
That was merited, as in that was maybe the results were not as good.
Okay. If the results weren't as good, they would still be put in low merit. Okay.
But the people who came in, they didn't have that assessment anyway, so they'll just be like, okay, as you said, maybe for the support reasons,
for the support,
for whatever reasons they gave.
Okay.
But yeah, that was the only thing. But from then I had to go from year 7 to year 12. I mean year 11. That's where GCSEs happened. Did my GCSEs, and I had 2 options. I could have either gone to do my A levels, which is in a 6th form, or go to like a college, for example. My mum thought it would be best for me to go to a college, so I went to the Aviation Academy, which is essentially a college in Leeds. It's basically Leeds Bradford Airport is here. And it's literally in the same space as the Leeds Bradford Airport.
Okay.
So that's where we studied. And I took aircraft engineering.
This is the year we're talking about.
This is now 2016.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've just finished my GCSEs for 2016.
Yeah.
So
is that something that you wanted to do, or you had a discussion with your parents and you thought this is the right way to do it?
So from like year 9, in a sense, I've always wanted to do. Funny enough, like biology was what I enjoyed the most. Okay. Well, which I found easiest. Yeah. Maybe that also came because like I found it easy, so I enjoyed it. I think that's put together. Physics was okay. Yeah. Chemistry disliked.
But I'd imagine engineering has a lot of physics, no?
Yes. So it's a
so
bit
you had
weird.
to like work harder for this.
So essentially, I feel like if I took a route in some sort of like medicine, whatever.
Okay, that would have been easier for you.
Like I believe so, because from like GCSE times, I could remember all this like processes. Whatever.
Yeah, I think you'd have made a good doctor.
I feel like I could have done. I feel like because that was the easiest and I enjoyed it as well. Yeah. I could sit there reading like a whole book of biology and then memorize or go to my sisters, ask me questions.
Which side is my kidneys? Which side is my kidneys?
So that was I found that the easiest, but I ended up choosing engineering because I've always I felt like I've always had a passion of hands-on stuff. Okay. So is that from a young age, or? It is from a young age.
Did your dad do anything in engineering?
So yeah, field, my dad basically did like a telecoms engineer. Okay. He works for Orange, which is like a, I don't think we have in the UK, do we?
Okay,
Orange.
It's
like for example
mobile phones, like T-Mobile, or
essentially. So T-Mobile is like another like SIM provider essentially. Yeah. So he worked in a company for them, and this was before mobile was big in Kenya. So this was for landline. Yeah. So he used to do like if there's any issues, like he would fix them and stuff like that. And we always like whenever he was available, we went to see him at work and stuff like that. So
you'd kind of help him fix things. So
yeah, we grew up in that environment, like watching what he's doing and stuff. Yeah. So I feel like maybe that possibly is like probably the main driving factor that I wanted to do engineering.
Nice. Shout out to daddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you're following in his footsteps. And it's also in the genes. I think sometimes some of these courses we do, we don't see them as, it runs in our blood. But maybe, I think it does.
Yeah.
Because I feel like my mom is quite a caring person. Maybe that's why I'm doing the course that I'm doing right now. Yes. Cool.
So so in that sense, I think that's maybe where the engineering thing began. But also like just in general, as in I'd like to dismantle stuff and see what makes like a device work essentially. So the components and the wirings, and if there's anything wrong with it, as in how do we fix it? So even though I was not always successful on fixing it, but at least I'll learn something about like why did it not work. Yeah. It could be as little as like for example like a radio back home, which are quite simple devices, to even like bigger devices, for example like laptops, things like that. So I'd always like the electrical side. I liked how it worked. And I felt like engineering. I felt that was where that's where I need to go. Okay. And then in terms of aircraft engineering or like anything to do with the aircraft or spacecrafts, I feel like I just wanted to do something like something as high as possible I can go essentially. But shout out, like not saying the civil engineers or the
Yeah.
mechanical engineers, but I feel like that field is quite saturated in general.
Okay.
Because even if you look
So
at
you
like,
thought this was like less saturated and
yes,
maybe
and more like specialized. I
Okay.
feel like so that's why I said aircraft engineering. I also saw like the paycheck is not
it's not as bad.
it's not the worst. It's not the
yeah.
worst.
Did you have to Google how much they pay?
Yeah,
or...
yeah. You know when you're younger, just
I know
put
you're
in
like
random stuff in.
I know.
Just put some
I've been
random
there,
stuff
man.
in.
I've been there so many times.
And then I'll be like, civil engineer, okay.
No, that's not for me. You're like civil engineer now.
To the side, and then the highest one which I saw at the time was people which work in oil rigs, like the petroleum engineers. But that one there is a bit too crazy. But they were making good money and stuff. But and then there was like another one. I'm not too sure what second, but aerospace was
also among the top.
Yeah, among
Okay.
there essentially. So I was like,
Okay.
yeah, aircraft might be the move for me. And yeah, I spoke to my mum and stuff. To be fair, I feel like my mum has directed my career like
Okay.
from the job. To be honest,
Do you know what? I feel like
she has.
from your story, I feel like your dad gave you probably the genes and
Yes.
obviously the basics.
Yes.
Because you were fixing things with him when you were young.
Yes.
And maybe your mom has also like.
I feel like if you were to describe it like in a football sense, I feel like she's like my coach or manager type thing, because every decision, every big decision, she's
Right.
had an input in it.
Okay.
And whether it being like consciously or unconsciously,
Yeah.
I feel like she's kind of dropped her like whatever she's
Yeah.
saying, and then I'm taking.
And then you're taking it in, and then you're
I'm
researching on it.
ended up
Yeah.
going to this direction.
Oh, okay.
But yes, I went to the this is 2016. I went to the aviation academy. We did aircraft engineering. And essentially what we were doing was looking how aircrafts work, the components. We also had a hangar, so
Okay.
we had a couple of jets in the hangar. So we're just learning literally how to fix aircrafts. It was basically like being a mechanic but for aircrafts.
Okay.
So that's what we did. We also had we went to Malta. We had work experience, 2 week work experience in Malta. We worked for the Malta Air. So we were shadowing engineers while we were there. They were coming, aircrafts would land, they would do like checks, turn around, send it on the way. So we were there for 2 weeks, like shadowing engineers, which was actually a good experience essentially. And that's been on my CV ever since. And this was 2015.
I know, you're like, I
honestly,
have to put this in. Whatever it is you do. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
Essentially.
And now after that, so you joined university.
Yes.
Okay.
Essentially, I joined Kingston University, and as I was saying previously, my mum was also another factor in me joining university. I did zero research about
Oh, like she did the research for you. What university is good at this? Nice.
I promise you. When I was
your fast paycheck, man. Remember your parents.
When I was when I was like a year before I finished.
Yeah.
Then people come in with talks, for example.
Okay.
And be like, you guys need to think about your future. Do you want to go into work straight away? Because the airport had loads of jobs.
Okay.
The airport had loads of jobs, so like baggage handler or those people, I don't even know what they're called. You know, the one with the sticks to direct the aircraft.
Oh yeah.
So stuff like that. No.
So is that what? So
jobs.
Going back to the aviation, is that what you were doing? Like
so I was
the
also,
odd jobs, or were you actually doing things?
For me, the first year we did engineering.
Okay.
Second year, but I was level 2 engineering.
Okay.
And then they did not have level 3 engineering.
Okay.
So we had to choose aviation operations, which essentially is more airlines, more airports, a bit less to do with the aircrafts, but more just more like how
the airports are run.
Managed, so from you checking in to you checking out.
Okay, so you chose that.
I was kind of forced into doing that because there was no like another step up for the engineering. I would love to do like level 3 engineering.
Yeah, but
that was not available, so I did that instead.
Okay, so you finished that with a. Did you get a certificate or?
Yeah, distinction star. It was City and Guilds. That was the board which was doing the exams.
Okay.
And then essentially when they were bringing people in to tell us, your future this, your future this, whatever. My teacher spoke to me and said he thinks that I should go to university.
Nice. Congratulations, by the way. You had a distinction in college.
Yes.
So now 2017, that's when you joined the uni.
Yes, so 2017.
And you were joining uni to do aerospace engineering. Okay.
Yes.
So you did the 3 years. Is it 3 years or 4 years? 3 years is a BSc.
Yes, but as I was saying before, because I didn't go to A levels.
Okay.
So I needed that maths and physics. for
Oh,
me to be
okay.
able to do the
So the
engineering.
college was like a boost for you to go into
Yes.
this, or
So it's as in it can be seen as if I went to A levels, I'll be able to go first year into university.
okay.
But because I didn't do A levels, I had to do a foundation course,
Ah,
which
okay.
was in the same thing, aerospace engineering.
Mm-hmm.
But at least it gave you that knowledge of physics and maths, which you need for everything.
For everything. Okay.
to
So
go
are
well.
you good at maths?
I'm fairly
Okay.
good,
Okay.
but I've met people which are brilliant.
I know.
You know what I mean?
I
So
know.
I get
I
humbled.
tried doing maths, pure maths, and I was like, what is? I thought I love maths, by the way, but until I did pure maths, I was like, what is this stuff?
It is a bit.
I think the maths I knew was like 1 + 1 is 2. You know, like addition,
Or even
subtraction, and bod mass, and
algebra, small
yeah,
algebra.
small. Yeah, that I loved because
Yeah.
we had a brilliant maths teacher.
Yes.
And maybe that's why I ended up loving maths.
Yeah.
Yeah. Enough about me. So you did your foundation. Foundation is a year.
Yeah, just a year
And
long.
then
And then you can move on to, if you get like if you get first, basically, if you get 70%, you can move on to like the.
So you had to put a lot of work, because I'd imagine if you're fairly good in maths
Yeah.
and you're also not so good in physics at the time, you had to put in a lot of work.
Essentially, but would you believe me? I told you like it was probably the easiest year.
Are you for real?
Maybe even easier than
For
some
someone
of my
who'd never
GCSEs.
really.
It was quite simple, like, and I'm sure people which have done it could vouch for me. As in, we're not in a lot.
Yeah.
The work we're being given, it's not hard. Like, you just had to concentrate a bit, and then you'll be able to do it.
Yeah.
Workload was not even too crazy because I was also doing other things like around university, like playing football, whatever. I was doing a lot of things.
Yeah, because you're quite involved, aren't you?
Yeah. So, and I was able to just like balance it anyway, and without even trying, essentially, because.
And I think you mentioned you were also involved in is it CU? What is it called? Christian unions.
Oh yes. So so I was also doing that. I was part of many societies, and that was one of them.
Yeah.
Which essentially is like a Bible study, like once a week. It's for church. The church is called First Love.
Okay.
Which is like a university type of like young people type thing, which was like once a week, and then Sundays would be like.
And what are the other things that you're involved in? What are the societies?
I was involved in football.
Mm-hmm.
Badminton, table tennis, and then also I went to like Afro-Caribbean society for a bit.
Okay.
So I was involved in that as well. But yeah, just whatever I would get my hands on.
You just wanted to do it.
Sports wise, yeah, I like and I play sports and stuff. Yeah, so I did quite a lot of that. And I was.
Did you have to work as well?
The first year, I'm trying to think back if I worked the first year.
I mean, because your calendar was so busy, I wouldn't imagine that you would have any other time to work. But maybe you did you?
First year, I believe I did. First year, even.
Okay.
I know I've been working like ever since, but I
don't know if some students go to library. They work in the library. I think some.
I worked. To be fair, I feel like my whole uni journey, I've worked every single year.
Okay. And is that just for yourself or for your upkeep, or is that to pay your fees?
Essentially, luckily, I'm a British citizen, so we get the government fees.
Okay, so you took a loan.
Yeah, so we took like the student loan essentially, which is given to like every home student.
Okay.
So we had that. So this was mostly for my upkeep.
Okay.
Even though we're given like a maintenance loan as well, but London can be quite expensive, so it's quite advisable to work. So ended up working, which was like agency jobs.
Okay.
So working as like waiting, like events, for example, like rugby games, horse racing events.
Oh, nice.
Stuff where like they will need a lot of people and stuff.
Yeah.
And I did it with my friends, which was quite enjoyable at the same time. I also did, over the course of the thing, I did like what's it called, warehouse jobs. I've done university jobs itself. I worked in the library at the university. I've worked as like a mentor for a bit as well.
A what?
Like
a mentor. Okay. Yeah.
Because we had like Saturday clubs for like younger students.
Okay.
So I've worked as that. I feel like I've
done everything.
I've done a lot of jobs during my university last stint. But yeah, that was like whilst trying to like balance stuff as well as university.
Is that something that you would advise people out there? Because I feel like when I was in university, I never really involved myself with a lot of sports.
Yeah.
And it's only after I left university that I thought, you know what? Why wasn't I ever in any sports? Why wasn't I ever in any, societies. Is that something you'd advise people to get into, or?
Yeah, I definitely. I feel like firstly we're paying like 9.2k, and that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And the reason we pay that money is not only just for the learning aspect, but you get a lot of subsidies in societies. So, for example, let's say you wanted to play football outside the university, you'd have to book a pitch, and that could cost you like £60, for example.
Yeah.
And then here we're paying £10 for like 8 weeks worth of football.
Okay.
So like they reduce, like you get stuff which you get outside the university, but for much cheaper.
Much less. Okay.
Yes, and then you also have the community sense of like you get to know people, networking in that sense.
Yeah.
So I'd advise it because firstly it's quite cheap, and also you get to meet a lot of people and do stuff that you enjoy as well. And
nice.
If you just concentrate on the uni aspects and the book, it can be quite I don't know. I feel like you need something to keep you like we put
something
the books
to
on
break,
the side.
because sometimes books every day can become
essentially, and you can just get sick and tired of it, so I'd therefore suggest that.
Nice. So your coursework essentially took 3 years to complete, or 4 years. So you had the foundation for 1 year,
and then so the foundation can be seen like even as a different degree, to be fair.
Okay.
So after the foundation, I had 4 years.
Because I did so in total you did 5 years. Wow.
Yeah. So the foundation, that was the foundation, and then I started the first year, which was aerospace engineering first year, and then when I was in my first year, to my second year, I did. We got to choose if we wanted to do like a master's.
Okay.
So you needed 70% from the first year for you to be eligible to make this decision.
So they asked you to make the decision from the first year
after you finish the first year, so the beginning of second year essentially, or over that summer transition.
Okay.
So I was able to get a first. So give God the glory.
Amen.
And then I made the decision to switch over to the MEng route instead of just the normal BEng, which is Bachelor's of Engineering, so just to do the Masters of Engineering.
Yeah.
So that's been set in stone from second year essentially. So I knew I'd be.
So you knew that's what you're doing,
yeah, essentially.
And there's no pulling out at that point.
Yeah.
Okay.
There wasn't, because I feel like
they've already prepared you, really.
And there was something that we signed because we did stuff as a normal students.
Okay.
But our name was in a different register. So you'd have to do that that masters.
Yeah.
Which I was prepared anyway. I knew like what I was signing up for essentially. So that was after second year. But uni started becoming harder and harder as the years progressed.
You almost pulled out. You're like, what is this?
It got quite hard.
Is this after the second year or the third year? Which became worse?
Foundation year, easy.
Easy.
First year, easy as well, because the transition with the foundation really helped a lot. Easy. Second year, it kicked up like 10 gears essentially. Like, that was probably I'd say the hardest, to be honest. Hardest year, because the intensity just rose up. Like foundation year, we were in maybe like twice or 3 times a week.
Yeah.
Second year, similar.
Yeah.
Second year, first year, similar. Second year, we look at our timetable, saying 9 till 6.
Yeah. 5
days a week. And it's like, this is a lot. And it's not, if the subject was easy, fair enough, but the topics become hard.
Yeah.
As you were saying before, like the math stuff and the algebra.
Yeah.
So now maths is starting to look like English. Yeah. So there's just so many like letters. You're thinking, where are the numbers?
Yeah, where are the numbers?
And then we started doing calculus, and then trying to link that into engineering.
Okay.
Because calculus by itself, if you're just like trying to solve something.
I don't even know what calculus is, but I'm taking it all in.
Differentiation and integration and stuff like that. So that's like algebra. It's on steroids basically. that's the final stage of algebra.
Yeah.
So you start like linking it to like aircraft engineering, and it becomes quite hard because you need to essentially make whatever you're building safe. And then it became quite hard. Maths was quite hard second year. And then we also had so much courseworks, labs as well. We do a lab, we have to write a report on it. We had about 8 labs that year.
Right. Okay.
And then we also had coursework outside that.
And exams.
We had exams because the course is 50% coursework, 50% exams. So exams in the summer, and also exams in the winter break. So like either December or January when you came back. So second year was quite tough, very very tough.
That year?
Third year, actually, with second year,
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think. Actually, second year, I think that was when COVID started. Yeah.
Oh, you were hit by COVID. Of course you were.
Was that
Yeah, it's
second? Nah.
Because it's 2020 March.
Was that second
That's
year?
when, yeah, COVID really hit. It must be second year.
No.
Because
Yes,
if you graduated.
It was.
When did you graduate? 2022, wasn't it? That you graduated.
Let's do the math. So, we started off foundation 2017, 2018. First year 2018, 2019. Second year 2019, 2020. Yeah. So it will be second year.
Yeah.
So that kind of saved us, or saved me, especially because the exams we had is in June time.
Yeah.
Around May, June.
Mm-hmm.
So the country, I don't know if you guys know COVID.
Yeah.
COVID. So the country was all like locked down. So we had to do exams from home.
Right.
And they told us it's open book.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as you had the notes for it, you can do the exams.
Okay.
So the pressure, to be fair, when I was studying the exam, when I was studying like throughout the whole like getting prepared for the exam, this is before I knew COVID was happening.
Yeah.
Even though I was in the back of my head, I knew this is gonna be a long day.
Yeah.
At the same time, I don't know, I just felt like calmness, as if it's gonna all work out.
Yeah.
But as in, I was not as prepared as back like foundation or first year. As in that, I would just come to the exam
and do it. Yeah.
And then God willing, on first. But this one here, I knew it's gonna be tough.
Okay.
Because what we were learning from the first place, and
things have changed.
Yeah, it was just so much difficult. So I knew it's gonna be hard. I knew it's gonna be very difficult. And maths was like we have like 3 different modules, and one of them is maths module. That's the one which I struggled with the most. Mm-hmm. So I knew that's just gonna be like a long day, like that module especially. Mm-hmm. And then we found out COVID, and then exams online. So like, oh wow, this has really worked in our favor. Mm-hmm. So we just did preparation as we would have done. Have your notes there, open book. Yeah. Took the exam, first class, both exams.
Nice.
And then at least now we're in third year. So I was coming with a first, and then now third year.
So you really had a fast all through your exams, as in all through the coursework for you.
Yeah, yes.
How would you do? You think is it because of the hard work that you put into it? Is it are you just clever? Or
I feel like it's less with the cleverness, even though as in I pick up stuff quite easily, but it's less with that, but more with like hard work and persistence. The way university is structured, there's a lot of mechanisms which they've put in place to help you. Okay. For example, we have like a maths aid, which essentially is a lesson outside your normal curriculum. Okay. You're struggling with a question, you book an appointment, take the question in. Okay. To a teacher which specializes in maths. You go through them, you can get to sit down, you work it out, he gives you like more stuff on the topic. Okay. You go home, you bring it back to him. Yeah. It's like a tutor essentially outside. Yeah, like a tutor, yeah. So I found out about that, and then that's where I was going after for all my maths problem. Okay. So if it was not for YouTube, I used to go to him.
Oh yeah, YouTube sometimes helps, doesn't it?
YouTube was probably the biggest teacher.
Yeah. I feel like YouTube for me has helped me in so many ways.
No, it's a very that app is amazing. Especially Dr. Khan. I'm sure loads of people know about him.
Oh, go for it. Yeah. Shout out to Dr. Khan.
Dr. Khan, Dr. Khan Academy. That's it's a very good website. Okay. But yeah, I feel like it's just applying yourself. The thing with coursework,
and I think also other students, other peers, can help as well.
That's the thing with coursework. It's a thing of where you don't really need to be the smartest person, because you have like, let's say they give you 3 weeks to be giving you a task, find out or whatever, accomplish the task. But with coursework, as in you have all this time, so you just mostly the research. If you don't know, you just Google it, or however you look into a book. Yeah. You need to find it, so you don't need like the pre-know. Yeah. So yeah, it's not. I don't want to say about like cleverness, whatever. It's also like networking with your peers essentially. Yeah. I had people which are above me, like in a year group, which I was also friends with. I was able to go speak to them if they did something similar the previous year. Ask them, how did you find it, or could you look at this and help me out in this area? And they were always like willing to help. Yeah, which was amazing. So yeah, with coursework, just apply yourselves.
I think sometimes it's actually, if you want something, you know where to get it, isn't it?
Yeah. That's probably another thing where some people lack like the knowledge of, as in they'll be struggling with something, but they don't know where to find like the answers.
The help, yeah.
Because even when I speak to my friends which do like software engineering or like stuff, they tell me majority of like which even work in the field,
Yeah.
they will not have a clue, but they know how to find the answers. So they'll go on Google,
Yeah.
type a specific question on Google,
Yeah.
and then find the answer from that. So it's not even a thing of where they premeditate. They know this. They just know where to look.
Oh, okay.
And that's why they're hired, essentially, because they know where to look. They're problem solvers, essentially.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, I think in the world right now, problem solving is such a big thing. If you can bring solutions to a company or even to people's lives, that's it. You made it. It doesn't matter which area it is, whether it's in health, whether it's in people who are struggling with whatever problems. Like the people who can't even save, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you can solve the problems of helping people how to make money and how to save money,
yes,
you've made it.
You have a job.
You have a job there. Yeah.
It's a big skill to have.
Yeah.
Solving,
Nice. So you finished with a master's in
yes.
in 2022, right?
Yes. So just this year.
And you finished with a distinction.
Yes.
Wow,
So...
Mike! Look at you. Where does the future hold for you then? Now that you finished and.
So firstly, we thank God because I don't know. I feel like it was the only year I struggled was that second year.
Yeah.
My master's year, I feel like.
I feel for me as well, second year was the worst.
Yeah,
and mine was my degree was 3 years,
yeah.
But my second year was the worst.
Hardest, yeah. Because even masters, I felt like it was as easy as first year.
I feel masters more of research, so you're reading more and just doing essays.
And I'd credit that to like the group of like friends which I had.
Okay.
My masters, because after the degree, masters, like only people which actually want to be there are left. Because obviously with a degree, obviously people want to be there, but you could also get people which just are there for the sake of just completing it. Because the next step after college is university. Yeah. But with masters, you would need to be dedicated to
to do it. Yeah.
So the people which are left there, for example, were able to help me. Were there like every day type thing. Okay. So we had a project together, which will make it like a wing, and it was quite enjoyable at the same time because there was quite a lot of hands-on
it's
work.
People who actually want to do this thing.
Yeah, essentially, and also then like the same mindset as in they want to do well.
Yeah.
They want to get that first or distinction. They want to see that project work. They want to learn. So the people I was with made it quite like enjoyable and also easy.
Okay.
And then as you said, I was able to get first or distinction. If you give God the glory.
Amen.
And then graduated in May 2022.
Okay. So how many months now?
So that's 3 months.
Yeah, about 3 months.
About 3 months.
Yeah.
Deep. And you're saying the future.
Yeah.
So essentially now,
actually, before you go to the future,
yes.
There are times when people say, and I've had it a lot, when people talk about, because of your background and where you're from, essentially now that you're British, but then you still hold your father's name, which is, not a British name, and lecturers have, they would give you fake marks and things like that, or they wouldn't even look at your work. Do you think that is true, or?
From my personal experiences, I don't feel like that's affected me in a sense because majority of my lecturers are also foreign. For example, we have one of my teachers, which was been my tutor ever since we started Singlo. He's from China. My supervisor, Dr. Wang, he's also from China.
Okay.
I've got people which were teaching me like aerodynamics.
Right.
Dembele, he's African. He's from a country in Africa.
Yeah.
Got people from India. And then we also have Canadians and also like British teachers, but majority of them I'd say are foreign. Yeah, essentially. So I don't think, in a sense, that's affected me in terms of like if they look at my name and perceive a certain thing and then give me marks according to that. I don't think I've experienced that.
Did your friends in uni experience it, or do you feel like people who put in the work got what they deserved?
I feel like people which put in the work got what they deserved, especially in engineering, in my course.
Okay.
The only time I would say which was maybe like they look at your background was, as I was saying, year 7.
Okay.
When you come into the country, they put you in a certain certain like set.
Okay.
But in university, no, I don't think I've experienced such like treatment. I feel like it's been fair all for a while.
Okay, that's good. That's good to know. So yeah, like we were talking about what do you have?
A plan for the future.
What plans do you have for the future? Do you have a job yet? Are you looking for one? Do you just want to take a break?
So at the moment, I've got a job actually.
Yeah.
I've got a job which begins in January.
Oh, congratulations! Is that a aerospace engineering
yes.
job?
So it's in the field of aerospace. It's air systems engineer.
Nice.
Which is gonna be for BAE, is like an aerospace company.
Okay.
Which begins, as I said, it begins in January, which I'm very excited for.
Okay.
And then currently now I'm just doing part-time jobs. I'm working for the university in the office admin work.
Okay.
Essentially till that
point. Okay.
But yeah, so that's where January. That's what it's looking at. It's gonna start in that.
Okay. Nice. Thank you so much for keeping it 100 with us. I think from your story, I'm reminded of this verse in the Bible that says in Judges chapter, I think it's chapter 6, verse 14, that says, where God told Gideon, go in the strength that you have, because he's the one who's sending you. So so to speak, like when you go out there, go and work hard, go and do what you're supposed to do. I mean, you've already started off on a very good, a very good start anyway. So I would say just go in the strength you have. You can do this. You're hardworking, you're smart. Go make us proud. Go make the whole Africans proud.
Yeah.
And the British, really.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, well done. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Bye, guys. Until next time. I hope you enjoyed the show. God bless. Bye-bye.